yeah, with that, you have probably one of the most epic drives in Penn State history at Iowa. I want to talk about that a bit, and then dive into the whiteout and what this group can expect.
Mm-hmm.
I've elaborated on that, but I wanted to get your perspective on those two things. I know kind of a two-tiered question there.
Got you. So first one, you were talking about just the Iowa game, that drive. That really, just when I think about that game, you talk about like them being a bend don't break defense. That was the epitome of that game. Like we drove the ball up and down the field, had a couple like turnovers in the red zone. But I still think like at the end of the game, we put up 400 plus yards, like, but we were only able to score 19 total points or 21, whatever it ended up being. And like that was the epitome of that entire game. Like so much frustration on the sidelines. That atmosphere personally was the best atmosphere I ever played in, like an away game. And so just everything kind of compounded on it. And then it came down to that one last drive. And we knew like we moved the ball up and down the field. We just could never score touchdowns. And of course, it's the same thing. It comes down, we move the ball down the field well, but it comes down to a 4th and 4 with 5 seconds left. Even the first 3 plays, we weren't able to punch it in, couldn't figure it out. But then, Juwan ran a great route, and same thing. You know what you're going to get in those situations with Iowa. So we were able to kind of draw something up on the sidelines in a timeout, and knew what we were going to get. Came out, sure enough, they ran what we expected them to, and Juwan ran a great route, got the guy. And all I remember when I threw that was I throw it, and I see Ham cutting like he had won quick on the other side. And in my head, I'm like, Ham, don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Like, don't get in the way of it. And then, luckily enough, it got by him and hit Juwan.
Wait. So that play was off the cuff? Like, sideline drew it up?
Yeah, it was a play that we had ran a bunch. Like, we had ran just, like, smash a corner flat a bunch that game. And we just kept, like, corner and go. Like, Juwan kind of leaned to the corner and there was run a post. So it wasn't, like, a completely drawn up. Just like, like I said, you're going to have to make adjustments in the game. It was just an adjustment we made, but we made it in that moment. Yeah.
Before we get to the whiteout one, do you know that you probably single-handedly were the reason why Iowa fans are so triggered by punting the ball into the 7th row of the upper deck?
100%. Yeah, I definitely know. They still hate me. I'll never forget the just array of boos that echo out in that stadium after I did that. I still think a couple of the Iowa guys still have some ill will towards me on it as well. But, it is what it is.
I loved every second of it. You could hear a pin drop in that stadium, and then you dropped a freaking boo bomb on the place.
I mean,
no one. I did it after we beat Ohio State too. But like the camera cut away, like no one really saw it. But that one, everyone saw.
You got people from Iowa pissed off at you. Still, you did something big. Those are generally nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, they're the nicest people too.
Except for that one guy.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy in the group.
Yeah, there's always one.